3 years ago, I did a Star Wars mural for me. This year, Disney came and said, why don't you do it for us? When I started my YouTube channel, I wanted to do something that no one else was doing, and that's when I did that big, huge Star Wars mural. And then I got noticed by the fine people at Disney. I did a project for Disney in the past, but I never thought I would get the chance to actually make this Star Wars piece for real. And it actually happened. They told me that they wanted me to draw the entire saga. They want me to focus on the main movies, do episodes 1 through 9. Okay, so before we get started, I want to see how big this piece is going to be. We've been working on boards this size, regular comic book size boards, 11 by 17, but each piece is going to have 8 boards. Okay, so there's 9 episodes, 8 boards for each episode, so that's roughly 72 boards altogether. So what I'm going to do right now, I have a clear space here, so I'm going to lay out all the boards on the floor just so I have an idea in my mind how big the original art for this piece is going to be. So I'm going to tear these pages out and I'm going to lay them out. So let's do that now. All right. "8.5 feet tall, 11 feet wide. This, by far, is the biggest piece I've ever done." I spent the first half of the year actually laying out the entire piece, doing lots of research, going through the movies again and again and again, visual dictionaries of Star Wars, going through them, getting familiar with all the characters. I also knew because episode 9 had to be there, I couldn't put in as much detail in here as I wanted. I couldn't put every scene in because episode 9, I don't know what all the scenes are. All of these single episodes had to match what was in episode 9. So I had to figure, okay then, what were the iconic moments of every single movie that I could actually include in this particular artwork? Because I work traditionally and because I usually go straight to ink, what I need to do is actually send to Disney the actual blue line first, before I actually go ahead and do the actual recording and the inking and all of that stuff. So a lot of pre-production. When people see this piece, what I really want them to do is remember. I want them to remember all the different scenes in the movies. I want them to find their particular favorite scenes, and I want them to remember how they felt when they were there in the theater, or when they were there at home watching for the first time on television, how they felt when they first saw those particular scenes, how that affected them, how that changed them as a person, how Star Wars changed all of us, even the way we perceive movies, even the way we perceive life. And that's what a franchise like this could actually do.
I'm doing the Qui-Gon Jinn thing, right?
Yes, absolutely.
The saddest moment is his death.
The Phantom Menace introduced us to a Star Wars we have never seen before, to new species and planets.
Naboo is a place where you want to settle down. That's kind of where you want to raise a family.
I mean, I love everything around. Obviously, Phantom Amidala is just a very powerful woman that's a ruler that was elected and has to save her people.
It also introduced us to a young Anakin Skywalker, being introduced to the Jedi Council, and who could forget that epic pod race. Some of the most amazing visuals I've ever seen was in The Phantom Menace.
But the best moment is that fight between Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan.
Oh.
It has to be episode 1, watching Ray Park as Darth Maul, all those acrobatics. I didn't want to be a Sith until I saw Darth Maul be a Sith.
The architecture, the ships, the Naboo fighters, they look really cool.
When The Phantom Menace came out, and that was actually one of the first art books I got, wow, these designs are amazing. So I fell in love with the work of Doug Chiang, and I fell in love with all of the design. Attack of the Clones introduced us to an older Anakin. Again, what stood out for me was the amazing design, the brand new creatures and alien races we were introduced to. And what I remember most is all the Jedi gathered together for the Battle of Geonosis, one of the most epic battles I've ever seen.
And then, just looking for Mace Windu's purple lightsaber among all the greens and the yellow or the blues and stuff. That's fun. When we get the huge battle with like the droids and all the Jedi and stuff, and that's just a spectacle.
I really liked Revenge of the Sith, and I like Anakin cutting off Dooku's head the way he did with the two sabers.
Revenge of the Sith because it's all about like the culmination of when evil dark power takes over, and what happens when the most powerful person in the universe is the most powerful person, and he's also the Senate.
Oh, I love Grievous. So I was like right at that age where when they came out, it was like mind-blowing for me.
But I was starting to see some of the newer movies, in episode 3, and I just loved, the battle above Coruscant and all that. So I love seeing the parts of episode 3 in here.
The opening scene in A New Hope, that was the first time that had ever been done on screen. The big ships coming in and the blasters going and the droids on the ship and the stormtroopers coming in and Vader being that big presence coming in. Grabbed in the first 5 minutes, it grabbed everybody.
When I was a kid, any moment Leia was on was my favorite moment. Just about seeing a woman in that role, starring a woman in an action role who wasn't she was a princess, but wasn't a princess who needed a prince to come save her.
Exactly.
I loved that even from a young age.
Skywalker, when you saw him on screen, it was legendary again. And I think he played it really, really well. I would have to go ahead and say Skywalker at this point, you know what I mean?
Anything with Obi-Wan, for me.
Yeah.
He had such a small part, but everything he did was significant.
You know what I liked? I like Greedo. He's the best.
At that time, A New Hope was truly revolutionary, introducing us to Han Solo, Chewbacca, and the Millennium Falcon, and seeing a young Luke Skywalker who wanted to be more, and then became a hero.
Where they blow up the first Death Star, that moment was just the beginning and just epic. The fact that they made that shot, and it was just awesome.
I love that. I'll watch Empire Strikes Back. If it comes on TV at 3 in the morning, I'll sit down and just watch it because I love that movie.
It's Han Solo. Han Solo is always my favorite. The scoundrel, lovable scoundrel. I just love his persona. What Harrison Ford brought to the character was awesome. There's so many moments, but what pinpoints for me is I think when Luke pulls a lightsaber out from the Wampa Cave.
The Empire Strikes Back saw the epic Battle of Hoth with amazing visuals we never thought could be possible on screen.
It's Yoda's wisdom, the way he describes the Force, and Luke training on Dagobah with Yoda is by far my favorite.
I always will love the scene where Han Solo and Princess Leia finally admit that they love each other.
Empire introduced us for the first time the Emperor, and also introduced us to Bespin or Cloud City and to Lando Calrissian. I remember seeing the Bounty Hunters and Boba Fett for the first time, thinking they were so cool, and seeing Han frozen in carbonite admittedly shocked me the first time I saw it.
My personal favorite scene is Empire Strikes Back when Vader and Luke are fighting on the catwalk, and then Vader reveals that he is Luke's father. I think that that really changed the whole movie.
Great twist in movie history, and it was awesome.
But Empire saw some of the most epic ship designs ever, including the Super Star Destroyer, which I had to include as a focal point to this piece. The Empire Strikes Back is a perfect movie. Perfect. Return of the Jedi brought us to Jabba's palace.
I had nightmares about Bib Fortuna. I don't like that guy. I don't like when people dress like him here.
Now, we've heard of Jabba in previous movies, but no one expected him to look like this. But what stood out to me was all the creatures in the palace. the Max Rebo Band, and also seeing Leia and Lando in disguise.
My all-time favorite figure is Luke in the black Jedi outfit.
Yeah.
Boba Fett, though, with the shooting rocket, which I had.
And you have Vader, which is Darth Vader, but like who's his master? Darth Sidious. So,
and who forget being introduced to the Ewoks?
The character just speaks her mind. She does what she wants, and she does it unabashedly. And I love that.
But most importantly, we saw the turn of one Darth Vader turning back into Anakin Skywalker.
Part of it is he's just a really cool bad guy, but it's also the fact that his story was as much a redemption story as it was a villain story. His story by the end of Episode 6. He had reconnected with the good side of the Force.
Return of the Jedi was a fitting end to the original trilogy, but no one knew at that time the story would continue almost 30 years later. The Force Awakens introduced us to brand new characters like Kylo Ren, Poe, Finn, and Rey, the next generation of heroes. It saw the return of heroes we love too, namely Han Solo, General Leia, and Chewbacca. In The Force Awakens, we are introduced to the First Order, led by Kylo Ren, which is a successor to the Galactic Empire. General Leia leading the Rebel Alliance are deep in their search for Luke Skywalker.
Honestly, I loved seeing Luke in the new movies.
The Last Jedi follows the Force-sensitive Rey as she receives Jedi training from Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker is my favorite character of all time. His arc in The Last Jedi moved me profoundly.
The throne room scene with Rey and Kylo. I like the reluctant teamwork with, tossing the lightsaber back and forth and catching it, just lighting it, going straight through someone's head.
And Kelly Marie Tran played Rose Tico. It just called out to me.
When Rose came out, it was like the first major Asian character in such a huge franchise.
Yes.
And she just gravitated toward that.
Yes.
So I think there was a real connection.
Right, yeah.
Oh my god, when Holdo saves the Resistance, when she turns the ship around and goes into lightspeed into Snoke's ship, it's complete silence when it first hits. And then you hear the sound afterwards. But just the impact, I remember gasping in the theater when that scene, I thought it was just so cool.
Yes.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I think when in The Last Jedi, when Kylo flicks his cape off and then he starts yelling at Luke, and then Luke's all calm, that's very iconic for me.
I happen to love Luke's journey. And then he performs the greatest Jedi move of all time by projecting himself, literally showing the ghost of Kylo Ren's past right in front of him.
They told me that they wanted me to draw the entire saga. They want me to focus on the main movies, do episodes 1 through 9. So I got to do episode 9 as well. However, they did tell me also, they couldn't tell me anything. They're very secretive to anything episode 9 related. So they told me, well, James, you're gonna have to wait for the marketing to come out before you can actually do that. So I said, okay, I'll do that last.
I think we'd like to see Finn and how he works out his relationships with the other characters and finds his place in the movie.
I just think it's a transition. We're going to see a transition of power, from one generation to the next, and I think it's good to see.
Well, I'm very excited. It looked like there's going to be a lot of great action and stuff. My favorite part, obviously, was the very end, hearing the Emperor's laugh come on. I can't wait.
I'm hoping that we do see the Knights of Ren in it, because I would love to see the Knights of Ren just, I don't care if they're in there for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 minutes. Give me the Knights of Ren.
My favorite part was probably her flipping over Kylo's ship.
My favorite moment was probably when they showed Rey having a lightsaber that's functioning and not cut in half. That was pretty awesome.
The Rise of Skywalker. Who's Skywalker? Is Luke coming back? Is Anakin coming back? Is Rey the Skywalker? Is Ben Solo the Skywalker because he's got Solo blood in him? We don't know. We're going to find out.
I just want an epic end to the saga. I think it's going to be a great movie. I like the whole sequel trilogy so far, and so I just hope they continue on that path. It's awesome to bring in JJ back. I think he's going to end it with a bang.
We believe, some of us believe, ultimately all three trilogies will tie together in a great way.
But I think that we're going to see some real epicness, and I hope the fans are all happy. You know what? I don't care what y'all think. It's Star Wars. Love Star Wars no matter what.
It was a whirlwind, staying 24 hours, 25, 26 hours a day. Is that even possible? I stayed up as much as I could to actually get this piece done. Nights, weekends, early mornings. And it was exciting. You know, even though I did draw a lot of this before, just because of the love I've had for this property, how it's affected my life so much, I couldn't wait to get up in the morning. I couldn't wait to run back downstairs and just keep drawing. I was fully enjoying everything I was doing, remembering all of those iconic scenes that affected me as a person and as an artist, and thinking about what are people going to say, what are they going to do whenever they see this part of the artwork. That's what I had in my mind every time I picked up that pen, every time I picked up that brush and started drawing. When I saw it all together, when I saw all 9 movies together, it truly was a fulfilling experience just to see everything all together. The rush that it took to actually get this piece finished and on time. It was, words can't really describe how I felt. I felt not just actually putting this particular piece together, but seeing my entire journey, my 20 years of professional art, coming down to this one particular piece. And it was really, really a fulfilling experience, something I truly never will forget. To see the saga come to an end. It's sad, at the same time, it's fulfilling. Just to see how many lives in the world that this particular franchise has affected. Millions of people, billions of people who love this, who love Luke Skywalker, who love Leia, who love Han, who love Chewie, who have posters on their walls, who have Star Wars pajamas, Star Wars hats, Star Wars toys. You know, this franchise really became a love of everyone. And just to have that little small part of this, to be a part of seeing this saga come to a close, it's something I never thought would have happened. And something I'm extremely grateful that I got the opportunity to do. When I did that Star Wars piece 3 years ago, honestly, there was no expectation. I was just trying to do something fun for my YouTube channel. Didn't think anything would come from it. I thought to myself, you know what, these 7 months or however long I was going to work on it, you know, it's for me. It's for fun. It's just something fun to do for my YouTube channel. And I would never have guessed in a million years that Disney, that Star Wars, that Lucasfilm would give me this opportunity to actually do this piece officially and for real. So I really do want to thank everyone who's helped me put this together. First of all, to those who gave me the opportunity to do this. To Bob Iger, to Asad Ayaz, especially to Asad. Thank you, Asad, for contacting me and for being so nice to me throughout this entire process. Really meant a lot. So thank you so much, Asad, for all of that. To David Seiden and to Nathan Davis, who I've been working pretty much exclusively through this whole process. Thank you guys for helping me, for your input, for your support, for your encouragements. I really couldn't have gotten through this without you guys, so thank you so much. Really, really does mean a lot to me. A huge thank you to everyone who's helped me put this together, all my color assistants and editors. You guys were fantastic. Thank you to my family, who were very supportive, especially to my wife, who 3 years ago, if someone were to come up to their wife and say, I'm gonna leave my high-paying job to do YouTube, most wives would say absolutely not, but she said do what you love, and thanks to her I got the opportunity to do what I love. And especially to all of you, this would have never happened without the support of all of you, every one of you who's watched my videos, who shared my videos, who seen this Star Wars piece. I'm hoping that all of this brought a little inspiration and joy to your life, because sometimes that's what life's about, you know? We're only here once, and you might as well do what you love. My name is James. I am the box office artist. I'm here to say keep drawing. I'll see you all next time. Thank you everyone once again for the support of this piece. Now, if you want to see this piece in person, well, there are a few places you could actually see this piece. The first is in the Regal, LA Live in Los Angeles. You could see it there. Also, Dolby Cinema. You could check it out in New York. If you see it, please do take a picture. Tweet me, tag me on Instagram, wherever you want, TikTok. Take a picture and send it to me. I would love to see it. And how can I forget, guys? Don't forget to watch Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker in your local theater. It'd be nice if you could come see these pieces, but don't forget to watch the movie. Let's go all and watch it and enjoy it all as Star Wars fans, because it's Star Wars. It's going to be so much fun. But thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to be doing a meetup. That's right, I'm going to be doing a meetup in both New York and in LA. It's going to be so much fun. Now make sure that you hit the bell for this channel, because I'll have a special video out a little bit later with the instructions on how to meet me and how to be a part of this meetup. I would love to meet each and every one of you, and in fact, if that is announced, I'll also have it in the description of this video. Please do come on out if you're in those areas, in the New York area or in the LA area. I would love to meet you in person, and hey, maybe we'll be able to take a picture with this mural together. Would mean so much to me. But thank you guys for watching, and if you're new here, please do subscribe so that you could be one of my best friends. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. My name is James. I am the box office artist. I'm here to say keep drawing. I'll see you all next time. So, did you get that? Did you get that? Good.